Okay, so let's talk about Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey, the movie that everybody has, for the most part, been anticipating. I don't know if everybody was excited or if everybody was just waiting to see what this is going to be, but let's talk about this movie that is already getting its own universe, and that's insane. We'll talk about that at the end. But before we get any further, I want to go ahead and ask you to subscribe to our channel, hit that notification bell. We're on the road to 30,000 subscribers. We're so close to that goal, less than 4,000 to go, but we're here to talk about Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey, a movie that was definitely one we never expected to hear. I mean, every time we would read Winnie the Pooh, watch Winnie the Pooh cartoons, whatever the case may be, he became a meme. But a movie, a horror movie at that, not something we expected. So what is this movie about and what's going on in the end? So this movie basically deals with the story of Winnie the Pooh, Christopher Robin, Piglet, Eeyore, everybody. Everybody here, as we know, the childhood story and all of that. Christopher Robin goes into the woods, meets these animals that can talk, walk, all that stuff, and then eventually befriends them. Now, this is the story of what happens when Christopher Robin grows up and leaves. And no, I'm not talking about the Ewan McGregor movie we just got. This is Blood and Honey, so things aren't as pretty as they may seem. So in this film, we have Christopher Robin who eventually grows up and leaves the animals. And Christopher Robin was always sort of a caretaker of sorts to the animals. So they would get fed, they would get sort of like they would learn from him, I guess you could say. And when he finally leaves, they go back into their animalistic ways, and they sort of take a vow to never speak again because Christopher Robin has left them to fend for themselves. Eventually they kill Eeyore, eat him, all that stuff. It turns brutal. And then Christopher Robin returns many years later with his fiance and everything, and Pooh and Piglet aren't too happy about this. They eventually kill his fiance and take Christopher Robin hostage. Then we have later on a group of girlfriends who come out to the cabin to sort of get away from everything. One of them actually has a stalker, so they found it as a way to sort of get their mind off of that as well. And now they're just trying to sort of be like, hey, let's relax, we'll be good. It's the cabin in the woods, what can go wrong? I mean, cabin in the woods is always the premise to every horror movie a lot that we've seen in the past, so definitely a lot can go wrong. Eventually see one of the friends get chased by Pooh into an abandoned factory out in the cabin, and then in the factory, this is where we see that Pooh has some hostages, including Christopher, who Pooh is now torturing and whipping with Eeyore's detached tail. So yeah, things get a little bit intense in this movie for sure. We see that Pooh eventually does kill this friend Tina by throwing them into a wood chipper, so this is where you start to get your little creative kills here and there. We then see Pooh and Piglet start their havoc amongst the other girls, and one of them is actually the one we see a lot in the trailer as well as in that one shot that gets run over by the car. We see another one as well get killed with a sledgehammer, which is one we've seen already, the clip as well if you've seen it. We then eventually see Pooh and Piglet take one of the girls with them, and as they take them, they are also followed by the other girls. What we see is that Pooh and Piglet take them where they have the hostages. As we know, one of them was Christopher and the other one is Charlene, somebody else who had their husband actually murdered by Piglet and Pooh and who is trying to get away as well. We eventually see Charlene try to get her revenge on Pooh and Piglet, trying to kill Piglet, but Pooh manages to come through and help Piglet kill her. So pretty much Robin is the only one left of the hostages, as well as the other girls that are now trying to get their friend. However, we then see one of the girls is able to kill Piglet, and this enrages Pooh, who then goes on to stab her and kill her as well. We see the other two girls then try to get some help, and they run into these group of friends who are then picked apart by Pooh pretty easily, and then we see Pooh is just not happy anymore, not a happy bear. Maria then attempts to escape in the car, which Pooh gets on, and then they eventually crash, leaving her unconscious as they crash into a tree. When Maria does wake up, she finds that Pooh is now decapitating Jess, and then as Pooh is about to try and kill Maria, we see Christopher Robin appear and trying to crush him between two cars, which we think is going to kill Pooh, but as we know in any slasher horror, it's not going to work. We then see as Pooh is about to kill Maria that Christopher tries to reason with him and everything, and all Pooh says, and now breaking his vow of silence, is "you left." And then we see that he begins killing and stabbing Maria as Christopher Robin tries to escape, and the movie ends. So pretty much we know that Christopher Robin is going to be alive. We know Piglet is dead, or is he? And we know that Pooh is still alive, and then seemingly becomes the new Michael Myers of the 100 Acre Woods. 100 acre woods. I don't know if I said that right. So now we do have Winnie the Pooh 2, which is going to be coming according to the directors and writers of this, and apparently a bigger budget and everything. They are also expanding into a bigger universe, as they have said before, with Bambi, and also apparently a Peter Pan movie, which will all seemingly be tied into the same universe, which will be interesting to see how this is played out. But this is definitely an interesting premise they're trying to take with all of this. I do wonder if the novelty will wear off after this movie. We've seen already people on Twitter and everywhere else talking about how this movie just wasn't it. It didn't hit the notes they expected, and it took itself a little too seriously according to a lot of the criticism out there. I am curious to see, however, if they can be able to follow this up in the near future with the other movies they're currently working on, because I think the next one they have is Bambi, which will be interesting to see, because I felt like at the beginning this was sort of a wave of sorts that worked, especially with Terrifier and a lot of the other low budget horror movies that started to sort of prop up due to what was going on with the pandemic and all of that. So we don't know necessarily if this is just a trend or if it will actually translate well as we get further into these other movies that are apparently going to be part of this big cinematic universe for that are in the public domain to be used now. So we'll see what happens. We'll see if Hollywood takes notes of this and tries to do something as well in the likes. But will you be watching Winnie the Pooh 2 when it comes out? Did you watch Blood and Honey? Let me know in the comments below. So that was my camera telling me, like, hey, cut the Winnie the Pooh talk already. Yeah, I agree. Let me know your thoughts and opinions. What do you expect to see in another Winnie the Pooh movie? And did you watch it or not? Or you just wanted to know what happened and came to this video? If not, I really appreciate you for that as well. But we talk all the stuff you love in horror movies, TV shows, all of that. So if you want more of that, you got to be subscribed. Make sure you hit that notification bell so you know when the videos drop. We do have a video on Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania dropping later, as well as some other movie news and all of that. You can check out our TikTok, our Twitter, our website, where we talk more movies. And as always, that's going to do it for me. Like I said, we are on the road to 30,000 subscribers, and as always, I'll see you next time. Stay safe, stay positive. If you're still listening, I really appreciate you making it all the way to the end. As you can see, you can follow us on social media on other platforms such as TikTok, Twitter, our website, and many other things like Instagram. We really would appreciate all of the follows wherever you go, as we are still trying to grow our brand and everything. It really helps a lot, so we really appreciate that. And we do have some more announcements onto what is coming next for the channel, because we do have a lot of things that we are planning, especially for the upcoming months, and it is very, very exciting. So we are excited to kick ourselves into high gear as we head into 2023 for a big year we're hoping for. And yeah, let me know. As always, thank you for listening. Stay safe, stay positive.